And we're back with more Social Media Cowboys podcast. I am Chris Hoke.
I'm DJ Hunter.
All right. And today we have a very familiar fellow. At least he's very familiar to one of us. In fact, you could say that they are, thick as thieves, close as kin, whatever you want to say it. Introduce yourself.
I'm Donny Hunter. I'm DJ's dad, and I'm the small biz guy.
And I don't know how long I knew DJ before I realized, I guess that just shows you how slow I am, that DJ didn't mean like David Jacob or something. It was Donny Jr. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay, Donny Jr. Now, okay, well, I don't know why my brain didn't catch that before now.
Yeah.
So what is the full name?
Donald
Virgil Hunter Jr.
Yeah, I knew it was Don. It wasn't Donald, or it was Donald. That's right. That's right. Is that a family name, Donald? It's not a common name, Donald.
No, the Virgil's a family name.
Okay.
That was my grandfather's name, was Oscar Virgil.
Yeah.
And then Donald's ruler of the world, so I like that.
Donald is ruler of the world?
Uh-huh.
Is Donald with a D in the end? Is it still ruler of the world?
Yeah. DONALD means ruler of the world.
Oh, so that explains Trump's agenda with, I'm just joking. I'm joking. So what, you wear a lot of hats. So let's just take them real quick, one by one. Not other than being DJ's dad.
Yeah.
You're the small biz guy.
Yeah.
And what all hats do you wear under all that you do?
Well, I do two primary things there. One is LegalShield Business Solutions.
Yeah.
And the second piece is Wiley Assessment Tools. And that has come about because I've done consulting probably for 25 years now, 25 or 30 years. I've been an entrepreneur for almost 50 years.
Yeah.
But in the last 20 years, I've focused more on helping businesses, and then now really helping small businesses. And I define that as companies with less than 20 employees.
Okay.
I still have a few big clients, but my passion is those guys with 3 to 5 to 10 to maybe 20 employees. And so the two components that to me has always been probably one of the bigger struggles for small business guys is hiring, managing, developing employees, which is my assessment tools. That's my Profiles of Central Texas hat that I'll wear under the small biz guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then LegalShield, which has the legal plan and the business consultants all in one membership. And so those are two kind of platforms or bases, I guess, that goes into every business one way or the other, either purposefully by really being involved in it, or hiring who walks through the door and using Google as your law firm.
So not just, you wear those hats, but then you're also really big with the community you're like a networking legend, if you will.
I'm a networking junkie.
Yeah. So tell me something about some of those places you prowl around.
Sheltering in place has put a big...
Granted.
I'm having withdrawals from
going
to no networking events. But that was something that I used to not do. And really, I'm not a people person. Naturally, I'm more introverted than I am extroverted. And so it's a learned trait, but it's really become a piece of what I do. So I'm on the Hewitt Chamber Board.
Yeah.
Ambassador of the Year there. I work with the Waco Chamber, with Startup Waco. So in, say, February, a typical week with me was from at least 4 to 6 networking events a week.
Wow.
And one-on-ones in between.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that. And I enjoy helping. And I enjoy being able to kind of fill in the blanks and sit down with a business person, young or old, that makes a difference.
Right.
And talking about what we can do to improve their business. Some of my tools may be helpful to them, but more so it's just listening and helping them understand some of the ways I've done it wrong in the last 15 years.
Well, you don't make mistakes. No, Donny doesn't make mistakes. Come on now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to get the missile in the air. We'll figure out where it's going later.
Well, speaking of that, I don't want to go in the weeds. I mean, I know a little bit more about your story than maybe others do just because of our relationship. So I don't want to go into the weeds and talk out of school. But I do want to talk about one thing from your past that I think is very interesting. You used to hang out back in your younger, youthful days with some famous folk. Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, just I know more of the whole. I know some of the dirty secrets. We ain't got to go there, but name drop some of these people you used to hang out with.
I used to live on Lake Travis with some guys, and one of them was the equipment manager for the Grateful Dead. And so, and he spent half his time in Marin County in California, and the other half he spent in Austin.
Yeah.
So we would have Boss Skaggs come through and stay at our lake place, or we'd have Jerry Garcia, or
Oh, wow.
we'd have Grace Slick, or
wow.
We'd be floating around on rafts listening to Asleep at the Wheel play on our deck, or a couple of the Jefferson Starship people.
That's crazy.
Playing. And that was when nobody went to Lake Travis. It was empty.
Yeah.
There'd be, the big day, you might see 10 boats out there, kind of like Lake Waco.
So there's Donny back there in the day floating around a lake with Grace Slick and Sleep the Wheel and members of the Grateful Dead. That's kind of hard to get my mind around.
That seems like a different person.
But see, that's what I think is intriguing about you. And DJ, jump in. I mean, you know this man better than I do. Donny has the networking guy, small business guy, and we talked to Donny. He's very professional. Donny's very, I don't know. You use a very professional vocabulary, but there's this other side that hung out in the lakes with the Grateful Dead, but also like you have probably a more, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but that car of yours does not match, the sound system alone does not match the mild mannered small business guy.
Yeah.
What's in? Do you still have that sound system in there?
Oh yeah.
Tell them about this sound system.
Still have Samson. That's my '96 Impala Super Sports.
Yeah.
And Samson has a 3,000 watt JL stereo system with two W7 12-inch subwoofers built into a custom made sound box and dynamitted completely in and out. So it's a pretty over the top system. I wouldn't have paid $12,000 for a stereo system, but it was in the car when I bought it.
Oh my God.
So it's fun. And cars have been, drag racing is another big thing that I love.
Yeah.
And DJ grew up going to the NHRA Nationals at the Texas Motorplex.
Yeah.
Actually, before he was born, when Kay was pregnant, we went to the first Nationals there, and she laid on the floor in the Meyer suite.
Yeah.
Or no, that was 7-Eleven's cheap auto parts suite. DJ attended his first race before he was born and heard Top Fuel dragsters before he entered the world.
That might, I don't know, does that still reverberate in your head to this day, DJ? You still got your bell rung from it.
Oh yeah.
We went every year for 30 years. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've always found that intriguing about you. Like I said, you know, on one hand, you're the mild mannered small biz guy, but on the other side, you know, you've got a sound system and an Impala that could blow the entire camera park into the water.
Yeah, I could give you a headache in my back seat. Hair stand up on the end if you had it.
Yeah. So, DJ, with growing up with your dad and him being, you know, the small business, I mean, if he's done it for 30 years, that's most of your life. So, have you known anything else but entrepreneurism, I guess, growing up?
Nope, not really. I've learned pretty much everything I know. I learned from him. So, or just watching behind the scenes, or asking questions, or just whatever.
Do you think you could even do a day job growing up the way you did?
Not anymore. I tried it right out of TSTC and it didn't work. So, never again.
Right. There's too many options.
Once you go entrepreneur, you never go back.
Yeah, and you know the things change. You know, we're you know, social media. Well, even your small biz stuff, Donny. I hate to use the word future proof because you never know what the future holds. So I say future proof, wincing a little bit. But you know, marketing will always be around. The internet is here to stay. Social media is here to stay. Legal needs are here to stay. The need to evaluate employees are here to stay. So we're in some pretty good things that will keep us going. But having said that, if God forbid something happened, you know, going down the road I've been doing like 10 years. You guys are ahead of me in a lot of ways. Like if something happened to this, God forbid, I would just figure out the next thing I could do on my own, you know, whatever that would be.
That's what I've done for 50 years. I've changed complete careers, gone from a commercial real estate development to working with assessment tools and specializing in working with big corporations and their HR departments, so which is kind of total opposite end of the spectrums.
Yeah.
And done, you know, network marketing, all kinds of other things. I've always done 2 or 3 things at once. I've always found I wanted more than one source for my income. So in case, just like you're talking about, something happens, I don't have just one place where money's coming in.
Sure.
That's always been important to me. And I always encourage anybody that is an entrepreneur to kind of figure out, how can I have more than one income source?
Yeah, and that's a challenge for me. I can't speak for DJ, but I know a challenge for me. As you know, my eggs are pretty much in the social media Cowboys basket.
Yeah.
And I, for a long time, wanted to find, not so much that I want to spend my day working on social media Cowboys. I mean, my actual work time, I want to spend that. But I love to find some things that make my money work for me. Another thing, whether they invest in somebody else and doing the job or something like that. I haven't found that. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of always looking for it, but haven't really found it. Do you have advice for people to go and find that secondary source, third source?
Well, once again, it's kind of similar to your first source, is that you want to get involved in something that you have some kind of passion for. It may not be as passionate about that as you do for your social media Cowboys.
Right.
But you either want to find a good way to invest, you know, learn about real estate, get a financial advisor, something like that. Or more so to me, is you want to find something else that can generate residual income. That's what's always attracted me, trying to figure out, how do I develop income that goes on when I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And, you know, my primary, that was primarily why I really got started in LegalShield, was because it had that aspect to it. Versus everything else I've always done, it just meant what I did when I got up in the morning every day, and every month I started over at zero, and had to take off and make it all again.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of, to me, what I look for is some way to get some residual income and or passive income to go along with what my primary passions are.
Yeah.
And right now, both of the two things that creates income for us. Yeah, I'm actually passionate about both of them, so I enjoy both of them because I see how they positively impact business.
Yeah, well, multi-level marketing. What you're talking about is not multi-level marketing. I'm bringing up the subject of multi-level marketing. I've known a lot of people that I love. People I love dearly and like a lot do MLMs, and I never jump on the board because I should say never. So many times somebody comes either so excited about the MLM and they're passionate because they think it might be a thing to get extra money. They're not passionate about the product. Yeah. And I'm not going to bash any of them because they're all, I just don't want to bash them, but that's always been the reason I can't ever jump on board with them. It's just because you happen along one doesn't mean it's what you really should be doing or be passionate about. It's just you found an opportunity and you think it's going to work for you. And that's the reason why I think that so many of them, 6 months later, you check in with them like, hey, you still selling that shake or selling that, gadget or whatever the thing is. And it's like, no, that was all, but it's always the same thing. No, that's all a piece of crap. It's like, well, it's probably not a piece of crap. You just weren't passionate about it.
Correct.
And that's the thing that's the problem with the MLMs. There's like a core problem with MLMs. I think it goes back to that passion issue.
Yeah. Yeah. And the connection to it and the ability to think. I've been in probably 10 different ones. Started out with Amway back in 74.
Yeah.
And that was when I learned that that was really a good business model. I really liked that a lot. At the time, I was very passionate about Amway. Built a big business with that in the 70s. But it got the main thing I took away from that was just the fact that I always thought that network marketing, I enjoyed it because it had residual income to some extent, and then it had regular income too. But the thing I discovered over the years was that many of the programs, they're all not the same.
Yeah.
And most people get in just for, like you're saying, they're they like the product, but more so they're trying to make money, but they are not willing to do it consistently.
Yeah.
Really, with any of the marketing, any of business you're in, if you don't do it consistently, it doesn't work.
Right.
And none of them are work free. So you can't get in and sign up and think, wow, I'm going to start making residual income.
Do you? I know getting out of your comfort zone is big for you. Like I've heard you say that to me many times. Get out of your comfort zone. Do you? Yeah. And I'm not trying to make this too personal for you and DJ, but since you live, you're talking about, DJ's in the same house with you and he's an entrepreneur and you're an entrepreneur. How do you two work out that whole, there's got to be a line there somewhere. Your father's son, but you're also your own independent business owners. Do you have to catch yourself coaching too much or critiquing too much? Is that an issue for you too? No,
I don't think so.
No.
Basically, answer questions when he has them, and sometimes I'll point things out to him he may not want to hear, but that's too bad.
It's part of life.
Yeah.
Do I know? What? I'm sorry.
So that's part of life anyway. So.
Yeah.
But I don't expect. He does what he wants to, and he doesn't do what he doesn't want to do.
Well, yeah. that's
and we're good with that. We don't hang it. We don't get mad at each other if we don't do what the other one says. So.
Yeah, I've always been curious about you too, because you have you're independent guys, and but you're also under the same roof. So how do you work that balance? Like for me, Trish used to be more involved with, I guess, some of the day-to-day stuff that before really me and a DJ partnered up, she would be more involved. And I would ask her questions. And we always had a decent time of drawing a line between relationship versus business relationship. But there were some times I just didn't want to hear her input. It was the blonde. I don't know, the lines. You try and keep the lines not blurred, but they would blur anyway.
Yeah.
And eventually, over time, especially when DJ and I went full partner, that sort of just started to diminish. And I think things are better now because it's pretty much just my show and DJ's show. And DJ and Trish, one, has her health issues, but then two, she was more content to be a, work from home mom, stay at home mom. So it kind of took care of itself. But we had issues with that where it's like, well, I don't know. I didn't really want your advice.
No, we don't have that.
Really don't have that. That's good though. I would say that's unique. That would be a unique thing. So now, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said, because you actually have 3 members of the family that are all in business. Because also does so. All under the same roof 24/7. So that's probably not a lot of families that could do that.
No, I would say it's unique. I would say. Yeah,
that comes from if Jesus wasn't living here with us too, we probably wouldn't pull it off.
So faith helps, in other words.
Yeah, exactly. It helps us get back to grounding point when sometimes we do all go to our different corners and not talk for a while.
Yeah.
That can happen too.
Yeah. Well, with the COVID, Corona, whatever, I don't know what we call it anymore. Is it COVID? Is it coronavirus? I'm not sure. Whatever this is. COVID-19. With that going on, you're going to have people having to start over. And we could make this whole show a debate whether we should open up or not. Open up. But anyway, we'll just assume, whenever the powers that be decide to open things up, there's going to be some people that are really hurt. There's going to be something whose business is gone.
Yep.
What do you, and this is uncharted territory, so I know none of us are going to have all the answers, but from your years of experience and being the small biz guy, if you come to somebody who's going to be trying to have to basically sort of start over, what would you tell them to start with? What would be some tips or advice you would give them on the other side of this?
Well, right now you need to start, you need to be preparing for that. And part of it is that if you have a brick and mortar business or actually any kind of business, you still during these times need to be marketing somehow because you've got to keep your name out there so that when it does open up in the next 30 days or something like that, you aren't starting over from scratch. And if you wait too long, then you may not have anything to start.
Right.
Yeah.
So you want to still stay in front of people, even if you're a non-essential business, so they really can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Then to me, I would think I'd want to try to help in some way, whether it's providing information, whether it's being a resource, whether it's just making yourself available. How can I stay in touch with my current clients and do something for them?
Right.
Provide something to them, help them do this or that, so things like that. Like we have a thing that I've been utilizing here lately is LegalShield's law firms all went together and developed a COVID resource center that's online. And so I've been providing that to people, and it helps both for businesses and personally and families and all the issues that you're dealing with, because they get like 24,000 calls a day concerning COVID-19 things. And so it's a good resource. So it's a way for me to be of help and provide a free resource for people to use.
What would you tell DJ to people coming out of the COVID situation?
Pretty much the same thing. You just got to think. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm just going to wait until it's over and then I'll go back to doing whatever I'm doing." If you're just sitting there doing nothing, there's not going to be anything to go back to.
Yeah.
So you either got to come up with a plan, or just stay out in front of people, or figure out what you're going to do next, or move on, or something. You should be doing something. Just don't sit there and say woe is me.
Well, I mean, look what we did. I'll just tell. I'm sure you guys have talked about it to some degree anyway, but
Yeah.
I'll just use ourselves as an example. You and I said, well, how do we make sure that our own selves are out there? And of course, we went to being a digital marketing company, went to our digital marketing tools, and we've kind of upped the ante on ourselves. But what we went and found a new product that we to this point had kind of, I'm not sure what the word to look for. We didn't like any of the other products we'd seen before, and how they were implemented. And I mean, really, the credit's due to you. You found a product that would let people control their own destiny still, but yet get all the advantages of a click funnel. And so we've been beta tested it on ourselves, and we got a client that's going to let us guinea pig. And so what we did, Donny, is we took this time to beta test a new product that I don't know that we would have had time to beta test without this. So we didn't just sit around saying, woe is me. What we did, increased our own marketing, and then we beta tested new products. So I hope that's a good thing that we did, and we'll be glad we did it, but you can only do what you can do in the moment.
Yeah, and that's just like I've learned how to use Zoom and started using Zoom, which I think, me and probably 50 million other people are using Zoom. But it's out of this, I've seen that that's going to be a viable part of my business going forward.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's also the other thing, just in thinking as we're talking, this also gives people a chance to rethink what they're doing, and they may not do it exactly the same way in the future, or they may decide this is a good time to pivot and I'm going to do something else that may be completely different that they've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
Because out of this, when we start opening back up over the summer, there's going to be a lot of new opportunities open at the same time.
Yeah.
Some of the competitors, many of the competitors we had before, or maybe even a different market area, will also be starting over. So if I wanted to pivot and move into a new arena, to me, this would be the perfect time to be putting all of that together.
Sure.
And having it ready to go when I could open my non-essential business back up.
Yeah.
Legal services actually is an essential business, so I get to stay open no matter what. So
yeah.
But that is one of the things right now that we're even if I'm a W-2 employee, it's given me 4 to 5 weeks to figure out another income source.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's one of the reasons why we've probably gotten more new associates in the last 30 days than any other month in the history of the company.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah. People are realizing, used to be you always thought your W-2 job was secure. And I think what this has showed people is W-2 jobs were the first ones that disappeared.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
16 million of them, I think. Last week. So.
Well, yeah, and that's just the ones who get through the phone or the websites.
Yeah.
I mean, there's God knows how many people couldn't get through.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah, right.
So that number's going to explode even more and more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that, as we kind of start wrapping this up, the thing that has occurred to me is I put some things on Facebook, and I did a post yesterday about opening up everything, and there's, I don't know, 70 some odd comments, people arguing back and forth, and it kind of hit me this morning. I don't think there's one right answer, and what's right for me might not be right for you, and what you do is not going to be right for DJ, and DJ is going to do might not be right for this other person. And I think that people are going to have to give a lot of grace to each other right now until this is over with. We should give grace anyway, but still, especially in these times, because what's right for me might not be right for the other guy. And those people going out and becoming LegalShield associates, that was right for them.
Yeah.
Hopefully, and and the people that are just depending on two jobs, hopefully that comes back, and I don't know. I just have a lot of hope out there.
Oh yeah. But it is a unique time to be able to pivot and be able to do something, because it's giving you opportunities that you never had enough time to even sit down and think about.
Right.
Well, now you have enough time to sit down and think about it. Either that, or you're just going to binge on Netflix till you become a couch potato.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's, you want to utilize that time that God's given us and to put it together for something productive, or at least to think about it.
Yeah.
At least to look at it. Yes, I'm going to go back and take my job again, but by the way, I'm going to find something else on the side. This isn't going to happen to me again.
Well, when Trish came home, mid March, or no, early March, like first week or so of March, she came home. I was mad when all this started because and DJ, you remember I even told you this. I was counting on March, just sort of coasting through and dealing with her, getting her all set, and then come April, start chasing new business and working hard and stuff. Well, brothers, there was no rest for the wicked at all. As soon as I got her home, starting the shelter in places started happening very shortly thereafter, and me and DJ haven't had a chance to breathe in 6 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever it's been since this all started. So our busy business levels just went boom, went crazy busy, and so it's I agree with you wholeheartedly. It does reset your priorities, and it does kind of separate the doers from the non-doers in a way.
The bingers binge on something.
The zombies from the the survivors, however you want to look at it. All right. Well, this is the part where we always say, "What do you got new coming up that you want to tell us about? You have anything new that you're working on?"
Well, one thing that I just wanted I can pass on is anybody looking for that resource site can just go to speedbumpsinlife.com, and it'll take you straight to that COVID-19 resource site. It's real good. You'll find a lot of information. It's actually updated daily by the law firms, so it gives you some real good information there. So it's speedbumpsinlife.com. And then to me, the new things are just to continue to learn during this period. If nothing else, read books. Pull out some good self-help books or go online. There's a lot of coaches right now that I've noticed that are giving out free sessions. And so it's do some self-help to develop yourself and to get prepared for what's coming. Which is, doors will be open slowly but surely. I don't think it's going to be they're going to flip a switch and everybody goes back to work.
No.
And even if they did flip a switch, it's probably going to be the next 6 months or 6 months to a year before we get back to close to where we were at before.
Like I said a minute ago, they're going to have to apply a lot of grace to people.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
A lot of grace.
Yeah, and I hope they give us grace back. So.
Exactly. Well, speaking of grace back and forth, is there any question you want to ask your dad? Now that you can ask anything you want right now, DJ, and he can't get mad because he's on a show. So is there anything you want to get off your chest?
No.
You're going to play it safe, huh?
Yeah. You're welcome.
Donnie, it goes right back. He can't get mad on the air.
I've always just tried to figure out how he got hung up on the Patriots. That's we figured out.
Who is your team? Who's your teams? That's a good question. Who is your teams?
Well, when he got hung up on them, it was the Denver Broncos. So Dallas somewhat, but they hadn't been good in so long. It's been hard to stick with them. But Broncos, we he got to go to several of those games with
Yeah.
us because of Kay's connection with the owners.
Sure.
But yeah, that was probably more so. And now I don't even know that I have a team.
Really? But you were UT, didn't you?
Patriots as much as anything because I don't really care about anybody else.
Sure. But you went to UT though, right, for college?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you're a Longhorn alum.
Born and raised in Austin, so yeah.
Yeah.
Kay was a graduate, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess the only thing we can leave it with is just.
Come on.
All right, guys. Well, we'll talk to y'all later. Good show.
Okay. Bye.